This is Valley View News, and here are today's headlines. Vice President Pence leaves an NFL game before kickoff. Protesters rally for free college education. The 2020 census has a possibility of being inaccurate.
Hello, and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Amber Partita.
And I'm Dahlia Perez.
Vice President Mike Pence attended an NFL game but left before kickoff. Pence went to the game between the Indianapolis Colts and the San Francisco 49ers. Pence left when the players knelt during the national anthem. He shortly tweeted a statement saying he will always stand with the president and for the national anthem. President Donald Trump tweeted saying he asked Pence to leave if he witnessed players kneeling during the anthem. NFL spokesman Joe Lockhart said he had no comment on the president's action.
The Trump administration revealed a new list of immigration policies last Sunday. The list included the building of a wall on the southern border and changes to the immigration system. These policies would affect almost 700,000 Dreamers who face the possibility of deportation. It would also affect minors who came to the U.S. from Central America seeking asylum. Sanctuary cities are a target as well. The proposal also demands budget increases for border security. Some Democrats criticized the proposal, saying they weren't close to what President Trump and Democratic leaders had discussed.
Dozens of people gathered in Los Angeles to support tuition-free college. Valley View News reporter Jose Duran has the story.
School, not war!
Demonstrators marched through downtown LA to demand Governor Jerry Brown sign Assembly Bill 19. March organizer Gavin Pierce says the measure, which would make the first year of community college in California tuition-free, is necessary.
Education today on the higher level in colleges and universities is a necessity, really, and it's priced as a luxury despite that, and that's what we're fighting, because we believe that education is a right.
Education, not deportation!
The bill passed both state houses with bipartisan backing. The march attracted students, professors, and even a U.S. congressman. Jimmy Gomez, who represents California's 34th district, says the bill would set students up for success.
Get them the skills they need, get them good paying careers and jobs with benefits, and then hopefully that will lead to a transformative effect in our state. It might cost a little bit up front, but it's going to also save so much more money in the long run.
After Gomez addressed the crowd, the demonstrators marched from Pershing Square to City Hall for a press conference. Herlin Lee, who attended the march, says the bill will benefit not only students, but the entire state.
It's an investment in human capital. According to one statistic, we're going to have 1 million less people qualified for high-tech jobs and jobs that require degrees. And I think this would really jumpstart it. I think this is an investment in California.
People who attended today's rally believe Assembly Bill 19 is crucial for increasing accessibility to college for thousands of Californians. And they are calling on Governor Jerry Brown to sign the bill. From downtown Los Angeles for Valley View News, I'm Jose Duran.
All 58 victims of the Las Vegas mass murder were remembered at a candlelit vigil last Sunday. The vigil was held in Huntington Beach. Dozens showed up honoring those who died, including some survivors who attended the Route 91 Harvest Festival. People marched up and down the pier paying respects. The gathering was organized by a nonprofit organization, Unity Impact, which seeks to help those affected by the tragedy.
The motive behind the Las Vegas shooting that killed 58 people and injured 500 others remains a mystery. Law enforcement says they found a handwritten note in Stephen Paddock's hotel room at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. The note had calculations of the distance and trajectory from his 32nd floor window to where concertgoers were during the Route 91 Harvest Festival. 23 firearms and ammunition were also found in his room. Clark County Undersheriff Kevin McMahill says investigators have not found a motive. Before the gunman opened fire during the festival, he transferred $100,000 to his girlfriend, Mari Lou Danley, in the Philippines. Danley's lawyer says she thought Paddock was breaking up with her. Paddock's brother says something horrible made him go over the edge. Deputy Fire Chief John Steinbeck says the focus is now on recovery.
We want to work as hard and as focused as we can on it and help the people that are in need for recovering from this and heal together as a community.
Steinbeck says the fire department is pairing up with the Clark County Family Assistance Center. The FAC is a safe space for victims and families.
After the Las Vegas mass shooting, the debate on bump fire stocks continue. This is a device that the Las Vegas gunman used at the Route 91 Harvest Festival. Bump stocks allow semi-automatic weapons to fire at a very high speed. Republican leaders want the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives to implement regulations on these gun accessories. California Senator Dianne Feinstein says regulations aren't going to do it and that there needs to be a law. These bump stocks can fire from 400 to 800 rounds in a minute. The National Rifle Association stated their support for limited regulation. Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy says the NRA is starting to listen to the American people.
This is the first time that the gun lobby has shown willingness to come to the table, and I think that's in part because Americans just simply do not accept mass shooting after mass shooting happening and Congress doing absolutely nothing.
The NRA says public focus should go on preventing bad human behavior rather than the restriction of the device. Feinstein says her legislation banning bump stocks attracted some Republican interest.
The Salt Lake City Police Department is under investigation for an August 13th shooting incident. Meanwhile, Monday demonstrators gathered outside police headquarters protesting. They were upset with the prosecutor's decision not to file charges against the officer who shot 50-year-old Patrick Harmon. Police body camera footage shows an officer shooting Harmon 3 times. He later died. Harmon appeared to be running away from police when he was shot. Police stopped him because he was riding his bicycle across 6 lanes and a median without a taillight. Officers say they feared for their lives, claiming Harmon threatened to stab them. His sister told CNN that Harmon was bipolar, schizophrenic, and possibly homeless. Investigators say the officer's use of deadly force was justified.
At least 1,500 structures have been destroyed and 20,000 people evacuated in fires burning in Northern California. The California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection says a number of people are injured and missing as 14 fires burn. Governor Jerry Brown declared a state of emergency for Napa, Sonoma, and Yuba counties. The fire started near Highway 128 in Napa County and then moved towards Santa Rosa. The National Weather Service says wind gusts reached between 35 and 50 miles per hour in the San Francisco Bay Area, with isolated spots reaching up to 70 miles per hour. The fires forced the closure of all schools and 2 hospitals in the Santa Rosa and Calistoga area. Community centers, the Sonoma County Fairgrounds, and other local centers were open for evacuees.
Tension between President Donald Trump and the Republican Party leadership continues to escalate. Trump and Republican Senator Bob Corker exchanged tweets criticizing each other. Trump claimed Corker begged him for an endorsement and that he didn't have the guts to run. Corker responded by calling the White House an adult daycare center. Corker says Trump hasn't demonstrated effective leadership.
Has not yet been able to demonstrate the stability nor some of the competence that he needs to demonstrate in order to be successful.
Corker's chief of staff says Trump wanted the senator to retire. He also said more than once that he would endorse Corker.
Governor Jerry Brown signed a bill reducing the penalty for HIV transmission. The bill was an attempt by Democratic lawmakers to decriminalize HIV transmission. The old policy was a felony. Under the new bill, it's a misdemeanor. Last year, lawmakers approved legislation allowing people with HIV to receive transplants from donors.
The San Diego County Hepatitis A outbreak is the largest one in the United States in decades. 481 people are infected. 17 died. The outbreak started in November. It's since spread to other counties. 88 cases were reported in Santa Cruz and Los Angeles. A majority of those infected are homeless. San Diego health officials installed portable hand washing stations in areas heavily populated by the homeless. Doctors say those spreading the disease may not know they're infected.
Now we'll check in with our tech reporter, Malcolm Finney, to get the latest in social media, health, and tech. Malcolm, what do you have for us today?
Thank you, Dahlia. Chris Forster resigned as the Dolphins' offensive line coach after a video surfaced of Forster supposedly snorting several lines of a white powder before a team meeting.
Hey babe, miss you, thinking about you. How about me going to a meeting and doing this before I go?
The video also shows a married Forrester professing his love for his supposed mistress before he begins to snort the white substance with a $20 bill. A Las Vegas-based model posted the video on her Facebook on Sunday. She claims to have posted the video in protest of the treatment of former 49er quarterback Colin Kaepernick. She threatened to release more videos of NFL personnel if Kaepernick continues to be mistreated. Forrester resigned just hours after the video went public. Apple will be releasing more emojis in the upcoming iOS 11.1 update. Apple revealed over 30 new emojis to add to the bundle of characters they dropped on World Emoji Day. Some of the new emojis include new animals like a brachiosaurus and a giraffe, and even new fall weather clothing along with various gender-neutral human emojis. Apple is also adding new mythical emojis such as mermaids and vampires and much more. The new update is scheduled to drop in the upcoming week. AOL Instant Messenger, also known as AIM, will be shutting down on December 15th. Before people could Snapchat, tweet, DM, or text, AIM was the way people connected with each other. For many in their 20s and 30s, AIM was the prominent social network growing up. AIM was most famous for their away message feature. The away message feature was something that you can leave on your profile for people to see while you are signed off from your account. AIM can be considered a pioneer for most social networks today. That's all I have today. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Malcolm. After the break, Dove has a new ad that sparked racial controversy.
Also, a Hollywood mogul has been fired for sexual harassment claims. We'll be right back.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Maybe you can make retirement happen.
After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Now to Shelby Charlene with entertainment. Hi, Shelby.
Thanks, Delia. Dove apologized last week for a racist body wash ad that the company posted on their Facebook page. The advertisement showed a black woman removing her brown shirt to reveal a white woman with an ivory shirt. The company released a statement saying they missed the mark in representing women of color thoughtfully, and they deeply regret the offense. In the past, Dove was called out for other controversial ads. In 2011, Dove made headlines for lining up 3 women, darkest to lightest, and placed them under the words before and after. The advertisement was for moisturizer, but was criticized for its racial undertones. Hollywood movie mogul Harvey Weinstein was fired from his position as co-chairman at the Weinstein Company last weekend. Mr. Weinstein's termination comes after the New York Times released a report detailing multiple on-the-record accounts of sexual harassment against him. The report, which included accusations from actress Ashley Judd, prompted other women to come forward and share their stories. 3 of the 9 board members at the Weinstein Company have resigned in the past week as a result of the scandal. The 4 remaining board members offered Weinstein a settlement deal for him to part ways with the company, but he refused, resulting in his termination. Many Democratic politicians who received financial donations from Weinstein are also giving that money away to charity. Actress Meryl Streep also commented on the issue, clarifying that not everyone knew about his behavior. Streep also said the women who raised their voices to expose this abuse are heroes. The Times investigation also found that Mr. Weinstein has reached at least 8 settlements with women for sexual harassment over the last few decades. Cam Newton was seen boarding the Panthers plane wearing a custom Rosie the Riveter campaign hat. Newton was the target of tons of public backlash and lost his endorsement deal with Dannon Yogurt's Oikos brand. This prompted the football star to release an apology for his controversial sexist comment to a female reporter last week during a Carolina Panthers press conference. After the reporter made a statement on routes, followed by a question, Newton responded by laughing and saying, quote, "It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. It's funny." Let's hope Cam learned his lesson. Rapper Nelly was arrested and then later released on second-degree rape charges in Washington last weekend. The charges were filed by a 21-year-old Seattle resident who says that she was partying with the rapper at a nightclub before leaving with him and his entourage. The woman claims that she was then taken to Nelly's tour bus where he tried to have sex with her. She says she refused, but the rapper told her to shut up and proceeded to have unprotected sex without her consent. She also claims that Nelly offered her money before being kicked off the tour bus and being thrown a $100 bill. Nelly's lawyer released a statement saying that the rapper is a victim of, quote, "a completely fabricated allegation motivated by greed and vindictiveness." Looks like that's all I have for entertainment today. Back to you.
Thanks, Shelby. A coroner ruled that the teenage girl whose body was found in a hotel's walk-in freezer last month in Chicago accidentally died. Kaneka Jenkins was last seen at a party at the Crowne Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel on September 9th. Coroners say the cause of her death was hypothermia and topiramate intoxication. Jenkins was found dead on September 10th, shortly after she was reported missing. Medical examiners say they found stomach lesions indicative of hypothermia and bruises on her right leg.
Catalans await the decision from secessionist leader as they decide whether to make a unilateral declaration of independence against the central government of Madrid. Catalonia President Charles Puigdemont is expected to make formal declaration at a session of the Catalan parliament on Tuesday. The huge rally against independence exposed deep misgivings about his tactics.
You have to follow the rules. You can't do by your own because that's not democracy. Democracy is sit and talk with the Spanish government and try to make a deal. If you can't make a deal, you can do what you want because that's not democracy.
The French government says if Catalonia gains independence, it will result in an automatic removal from the EU. French Minister of European Affairs says any declaration of independence would isolate Catalonia.
The 2020 census is 3 years away. Valley View News reporter Maybelline Kapalou has more on the story.
Every 10 years, the government takes an official count of the U.S. population. California organizations are preparing for the 2020 census because the last one undercounted minority groups.
I know that Latinos, specifically in California, would make a pretty large number. We're 39% of the population, so when we're thinking about the importance of census, Latinos and the Census 2020 is a critical.
Out of fear of deportation, undocumented immigrants didn't participate in the 2010 census. Latinos, along with other minorities, were undercounted in California.
I had people at home who told me no, she says. This won't help me. They can come and take me.
You know what? I'm not too familiar with that. I don't go by stats or anything like that, and I'm not too aware of that. I got my own life.
There are no do-overs for the census, so if people don't participate, we live with incorrect results for the next 10 years. The 2010 census missed 1.5 million minorities.
The 2020 census hopes to have more minorities participate. In Los Angeles, for Valley View News, I'm Maybelline Kapalou.
Officials in Charlottesville, North Carolina denounced a rally held by self-proclaimed alt-right founder and white supremacist Richard Spencer and his followers last weekend. About 50 white nationalists gathered at Emancipation Park around 7:40 at night where the statue of Robert E. Lee still stands. The participants carried tiki torches and wore matching white-collared shirts and khaki pants. The group chanted, quote, "You will not replace us. You will not erase us." This is the third rally that Spencer has held in his former college town. Charlottesville authorities have denounced the white nationalists, calling them racists with a message of hate, and said that they are exploring legal options. A Russia's attorney showed documents that June 2016 meeting was not about dirt on Hillary Clinton. Emails provided to CNN showed the meeting between Russian lawyer and a publicist about the Magnitsky Act. The talking memo also provided that the Russian lawyer talked about repealing the act. The documents were provided by Scott Balber, who obtained it from Russian lawyer and told CNN that the meeting was not focusing on Clinton. A non-disclosure agreement was signed by the Russian lawyer, and CNN did not get an answer on why they were signed.
The United States and Turkey suspended non-immigrant visa travel services after the arrest of a U.S. consulate employee. There will be some exceptions, but the suspension will block Turks from traveling to the U.S. and vice versa. After the U.S. made the announcement, the Turks retaliated by banning American citizens from going to Turkey. The Turkish embassy said the block would apply to visas in passports, e-visas, and visas received at the border.
The head and legs of missing Swedish journalist Kim Wall have been found by Danish police. Wall was covering a story on a privately built submarine when she went missing. The submarine was built by Danish inventor Peter Madsen. He is accused of Wall's death, but claims it was an accident. He says she was hit in the head by a 155 metal hatch. But after recovering the head of Wall, police found no signs of cranium fracture. Her headless torso was also found. Officials believe Madsen tied her torso to pipes to make it sink to the bottom of the ocean. Her body parts and clothes were found in bags with lead pieces weighing them down.
After the break, Daniel Martindale checks in with us on how the Dodgers are doing in the playoffs.
Also, Egypt finally made it to the World Cup. We'll be right back.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I found them at work, on a desk, laying out in the open. Copied them, shared them on a website. Now I'm facing up to 3 years in jail. It's scary. Who knows where it's going? I mean, who's gonna hire me? Don't do it. It's not worth it.
You made her college years possible, opening that education savings account when she was little, spearheading campus tours, and deciphering financial aid. If you can ace planning for college, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
After 27 years, Egypt has finally earned a spot in the 2018 World Cup by defeating Congo-Brazzaville. With about a minute left, Mohamed Salah, forward for the Egypt national team, scored the game-winning penalty kick. The stadium erupted in cheers after the successful kick by Salah. Qualifying for the World Cup is a significant achievement for the Pharaohs, considering they've suffered 2 seasons worth of canceled games. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi will give each player $85,000. The last time Egypt went to the World Cup was in 1990.
The Dodgers seem to be in pretty good shape.
Well, the scariest thing about October isn't Halloween. It's usually watching the Dodgers in the playoffs. But this year, they're hitting, they're pitching. I don't want to get too excited, but things are starting to look really good. Well, it was a weekend full of our teams taking on those who love to say beat LA. 3 of them took on division rivals. Our city battled Snakes, Sharks, and Hawks. But first up, it was the Dodgers, who are trying to become baseball's top dog. Let's go out to Dodger Stadium in Game 2 of the NLDS against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hey, Magic, what's up? So, we had Austin Barnes getting the start at catcher, and it turns out that was the right decision. Pick it up in the 4th. Dodgers already leading 4-2. He hits a double, scoring Logan Forsythe and Curtis Granderson. Jimmy Sherfy got lit up for 3 runs and 3 hits. Yasiel Puig up next. He joined in on the fun. Very next batter drives the Dodgers' 3rd straight RBI hit to left field. The Wild Horse completes a 4-run 5th for the Dodgers. They're up 7-2 when they decided to lift starter Rich Hill. Brendan Morrow pitching to Brendan Drury and hold everything. A 3-run blast makes it a ball game again. But have no fear, Kenley is here. Dodgers didn't play around and called on Kenley Jansen for a crucial 5-out save. Dodgers step on the Snakes by a final of 8-5. They take a commanding 2-0 series lead in the best-of-5 series. That's the first time they've done that since 2009. A series win in Arizona would mean the Dodgers are back in the NLCS for the 2nd straight year, and it could mean a second pool party. Dodgers, of course, famously jumped into Arizona's outfield pool when they clinched the division there in 2013. Well, hockey season started last week, and the Kings are hoping for much better results. Failing to make the playoffs in 2 of the last 3 seasons prompted the hiring of new coach John Stevens and new general manager Rob Blake. After winning their season opener against Philadelphia last week, they went up north and faced rival San Jose Sharks. So here we go from the Shark Tank, and maybe you should go on Shark Tank and invest in Dustin Brown. Here he comes, streaking up the right wing, beating former teammate Martin Jones on the short side, but that lead was short-lived. A minute later, San Jose goes on the attack, moving the puck around really well. Brendan Dillon finds Mikhail Botker, and San Jose ties it up. That was the first goal the Kings had given up all season. 8 seconds left in the period. Jake Muzzin moving through the neutral zone. He springs captain Andrzej Kopitar, who snaps home his first goal of the season. Then in the second period, after celebrating there, here's Kopi again, and he rings in another one behind Martin Jones. Kopitar had 12 goals all of last season, and he had 2 in this game. Kings go on to sink the Sharks 4-1. They start the season with 2 straight wins for the first time in 15 years. Goaltender Jonathan Quick has only allowed 1 goal in 120 minutes of play. Kings are home to Calgary on Wednesday. Also in hockey, Washington Capitals winger Alex Ovechkin became the first player in 100 years to open the season with back-to-back hat tricks. He had 7 goals in just 52 minutes of play. Well, with those wins on Saturday, it was up to the Rams to win on Sunday to complete the weekend trifecta for LA. Standing in their way was the rival Seattle Seahawks. Let's go to the Coliseum now. Rams on the first possession of the game, looking really good. Jared Goff making himself like Clayton Kershaw and pitching the ball to Todd Gurley. Touchdown Rams, right? But wait, not so fast. After review, Gurley lost the ball before he broke the plane. By rule, that's a turnover, a touchback, and a bad turn of events for the Rams. So let's try it again on the next drive. Tavon Austin, being awesome in the throwback unis, gets the handoff and high steps his way into the end zone. He shows the speed and goes all the way for his first touchdown of the season, but here come those Seahawks late in the half. Russell Wilson to Jimmy Graham, who goes all the way up and gets it. They tied it up before halftime. Rams offense struggled on Sunday. Their offense was stuck in low gear all day, but they found themselves in need for a comeback. Tyler Higbee over the middle. Goff to Cooper Kupp for the tie, and it hits his hands and falls out. That close. Rams go on to lose, a total heartbreaker to the Seahawks. The first time they've lost to them at home in 3 years. They're now tied for the division lead with that same team. Rams go on to face Jacksonville next. Another note, the Chargers finally won their first game with the Los Angeles namesake. They beat the New York Giants 27-22, snapping a 9-game overall losing streak. Giants paid the price in that one. Odell Beckham Jr. broke his ankle. Well, that's going to do it for a wild weekend in sports. Dodgers and Kings rolling, Rams and Chargers still figuring things out. Back to you guys.
Monday may have been the final Columbus Day in LA. Last week, the LA County Board of Supervisors joined the city in deciding to replace a controversial holiday. The second Monday in October will become Indigenous Peoples Day no later than 2019. Supporters of the new holiday say it honors victims of colonialism instead of Italian explorer Christopher Columbus. The city motion also designates October 12th as Italian American Heritage Day. Some Italians feel that they are being discriminated against. They saw Columbus Day as a day they chose to honor their own heritage and hardships.
McDonald's is now serving vegan burgers. Customers looking to try the McVegan will have to travel to Finland. The burger has a soy-based patty. It's served with an eggless McFeast sauce. People looking for a full vegan meal are in luck. The Finland location is also offering vegan fries. The fast food chain is testing the product through next month. If the burger performs well, there's a possibility it could appear on menus in other countries.
Thanks for joining us today.
From Valley View News, I'm Amber Partita.
And I'm Dalia Perez. See you next time.